biggest question going into it was, how am I going to play this game? We clearly showed sort of some first person and some, pulled back 2D-ish platforming stuff in the trailer, and how they actually integrated was the biggest question coming out of E3. And today we answered that question. The demo, of course, started with a lot of cinematics, and storytelling is a huge part of this game. Really going to find out a lot more about Samus's past and present than we ever have before. When you're not watching cinematics, you're playing through this very, very unique sort of hybrid gameplay where you're spending half your time sort of exploring and playing what feels like an old school Metroid game, and then all of a sudden switching into first person, exploring your area, blasting things, and proceeding. Basically, most of the time you're moving around, holding it NES style. It feels like Metroid 20 years ago. You're moving with the plus control pad, you're pressing the 1 and 2 buttons to jump and to shoot. Of course, as you're moving through these environments, you're going to have, this is a Metroid game after all, there's a lot of areas where all of a sudden you're going to think, how do I get through this room? Where's another exit? I need to find a different path to go on. And in those moments, it's really crucial to go into this first-person view and take a look around your environment. One of the things that you may have noticed was the concentration move, which replenishes your missiles. And basically the way it works is this. You need to not be getting attacked, because if you're mid-battle and you're getting your butt kicked by a bunch of enemies, you're not going to be able to concentrate. But if you have a quiet moment to reflect, then all of a sudden you can hold the Wii remote vertically and hold down the A button. And if you don't have full missiles, what she'll do is she'll power up all of her missiles and replenish them. Additionally, if you get down into the very sort of terminal area of her health, the red zone, under, say, I think it's probably 30 health. Once you get into that zone, you can actually replenish some of your health by concentrating. You can't do it all. By the time end of this game, when you're sitting there with tons of energy tanks and stuff like that, it's not like you can all of a sudden, hey, I'm replenishing all my energy and I'm fine now. You can only partially replenish just enough to survive, but you're going to need that energy to get you to the next save station, or else you're going to die. It's pretty clear, I think, from what the brief snippet of the plot that you've seen, that those guys are on the same station as you. So you're going to cross paths a number of times. And of course, I don't know if you remember in Metroid Fusion, but the commander on this ship is Adam Malkovich, who of course was a crucial part of the plot of Metroid Fusion. His interaction with Samus is going to be a big part of the plot as well. But that's not to say that all of a sudden, this isn't a squad shooter. You're not going to have this gang of Galactic Federation soldiers with your back. There's still going to be tons of exploring. The sense of isolation that has been a hallmark of the Metroid series is alive and well in this game. You're going to do tons of that stuff. But you're also going to run into the soldiers as well, and they'll be a big part of the plot. I don't want to spoil any plot details for you, but I think it's safe to say that the timeline of Metroid, all of it, comes to bear in this game. Even just that flashback scene is, that's the baby who imprinted on Samus at the end of Metroid 2 when it hatched, and then of course the plot of Super Metroid when it got stolen at the beginning and then grew and then saved her life. And then that's intersecting with the Adam Malkovich story. I think it's safe to say that you'll see, if you've been following the series a long time, you're going to have a lot of stuff to see in this game. I don't want to get too much into what the locations are exactly, because I want that to be a surprise, obviously. But you will see a wide variety of areas. They won't all be metallic hallways, but yeah, you'll see a wide variety of areas in the game. But yeah, I don't want. It'd be a huge spoiler if I actually explained what that means, and I know that sucks. It's so amazing to me to be sitting here and talking so much about this sort of mysterious Metroid plot, because of course, in the past, that a lot of the plot has been internalized, as stuff that you just are getting from the environment, and this one has a very, very expansive story. There's a lot of questions that you guys are going to have, and really, honestly, not all of them are going to get answered until you get to play the whole game, because it's an amazing plot start to finish. Nintendo really never afraid to take their franchises in new directions. We've seen it time and time again over the years. If you're not taking it in new directions, it just stagnates, and so I don't think there was any real hesitation to do that. And of course, exploring the backstory of a character is something that is always good. More story, especially about an iconic figure like this. There's a ton of people, myself included, who you know, are dying to know more about it. So I think giving people like that exactly what they want, I think is not much of a risk at all. I think it'll be good. Metroid Other M is releasing on Wii on June 27th in North America.